Hi all, I'm Ehsan, host of Better Body, and I'm so excited to have Kim Prince today. She's cardiac physiologist and lecturer. On the side, she's a pro bodybuilder and trainer and coach. She's also part of a strong woman community. She is passionate about getting the community active and educate them about health and well-being, alongside with pushing herself to achieve whatever is possible. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Do you want to talk a little bit about yourself, Kim, for our audience?
Yeah, sure. Look, I've been a sort of an athlete my whole life, doing some form of activity, gymnastics, circus. And I only got into weightlifting, bodybuilding 4-5 years ago, and strongman 1 year ago. So fairly new to that sport, and powerlifting was probably 4 years ago as well. So yeah, but have been pushing and doing 3 different sports at the one time is kind of insane, but I love it. It challenges me, and yeah, and I do that sort of around my everyday job. I have a normal everyday job as a cardiac physiologist, as you said, so that's doing ultrasounds of the heart. So I'm quite passionate about people's heart health and health in general, and yeah, getting the community, you know, active and involved, and just especially in the time of COVID, because it's so easy to sit sedentary, and it's got such major impacts on mental and physical health. So yeah, that's where I basically align my interests.
It's very interesting, as you mentioned, because a lot of people, Kim, consider being a bodybuilder and a strong woman is like in contrast of each other. You know, you can, I know you're in the peak, you're lower than 9% body fat, and you're going to compete in both of them very soon. Can you give us a summary?
Yes, that's right. Yes. That's why it's so crazy, because you are at the 2 extremes of 2 different sports. So bodybuilding, I have to be as lean as absolutely possible with no body fat. And this morning I weighed in at about 8.3% body fat. So, and then I'm going strongman, strong woman. So it's, you want to be quite muscular and quite strong and increasing your carbs and calorie intake, whereas at the moment I'm in a deficit and I'm slowly decreasing my calorie intake. So that's the challenge for me, maintaining my strength and being able to perform at peak while I'm still in such a deficit. So because that's not what you normally do, so that's the challenge for me.
Oh, I really like it. So the part that you mentioned about pandemic, what's the relationship between physical and mental health? And if you have any experience from your own journey, anyhow.
There's, you know, I see a lot of people who really suffer through COVID and the lockdowns, shutting down gyms, people not being able to get out and socialize. Socializing is a big thing for mental health. And I guess a lot of people also who find it easier to get active with someone else. And if you're not able to do that, if you're not able to go to a gym, if you're not able to see a trainer or even work out with your friend, you know, that can be quite limiting and can send you into quite a mental state. So your mental capacity and your physical capacity do tend to work hand in hand. And the better either of them are, then the better the other one's going to be.
Okay, considering, like, getting back to that project, like if a person currently in the lockdown and have access to any gym and socializing, it maybe it can go with one friend, how can they motivate themselves to get out, or how can they start their fitness journey?
Yes, I guess it's literally just making one plan and then committing to that plan. So even if it's just you're going to go out for a walk, and if you're in a lockdown area, New South Wales, Victoria, wherever, of course, within your radius, doing it safely, but you make that commitment. So every Monday morning, I'm going to go for a walk before work, and it's just making that commitment and starting one thing at a time. You don't want to suddenly go, right, I'm going to work out 5 days a week and not eat fat, because you won't do it. You'll fail, you know, atrociously in the first week. So small steps, accomplish one thing, set one goal, and then set another goal. So I think that's the major thing. And even that first step is quite difficult. So if it's easier for you to talk to someone, like online coaching is available everywhere at the moment. Even just talking to someone, reaching out and saying, hey, what do I do? Can I just do one online session with you? And then I'll start, walking every week, or grab your buddy that you're allowed to sort of walk with, or even do a Zoom online with your buddies. You can do group sessions online. So there is a lot of means and ways out there, but the hardest part is making that first step. And whatever it is that's going to help you, whether it's reaching out to a friend, a coach, a relative, or just looking at something online, that's the major thing. And starting small.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think I'm just going to a little bit wider on that one. What's it like? You have been a coach, you have been in this journey for 5-6 years time. And by the way, 14 trophies in 3 years. And I think you continue on that if it wasn't because of pandemic. What's the biggest challenge for anybody to start their fitness journey? What's to stop people from, they know what's right and they know what they need to do, but they don't do it?
The most common thing I see from clients is time, or committing to time. So we've got 24 hours in a day, and you've got to make the time, whether it's an hour and a half, or however long you're going to allocate, however many days per week. And it's committing to that time, scheduling it in. Don't just say, I'm going to do a workout on Wednesday. It's got to be scheduled in, because you can easily come to Wednesday and go, I don't feel like it. The excuses can come left, right, and centre, all under the sun. So, but I find that the biggest thing that people say to me is they don't have time. But, if you really want something, you'll make the time.
Yeah, I think a reflection on that one, it happened for me. Just like I was working a lot. I was very proud of not exercising myself. I ended up in the hospital for a variety of reasons, and then I just decided not to go back there. Unfortunately, Kim, majority of the people going through the grief process to know that I'm on a burning out car, I need to refuel. I think in this industry, something that really hard for a lot of people. You open Facebook, you open Instagram, and you see a lot of great body shapes. As a person, you were overwhelmed. You just said, oh my God, all of these people achieve so many. What's the point of going to the gym for half an hour? Can you just tell us a little bit of the social impact, both positive and negative, for us on these days?
Look, the big, remember, social media, most of it's going to be a lie. All right. What you see on social media is enhanced, touched up, probably not even them. Whatever they say is probably not even the truth. So you've got to bear that in mind. You don't know what's actually going on with that person behind closed doors, and whether whatever they're telling you is actually true. In saying that, there is a lot of truth and a lot of real people out there. And I try to be one of those people. I don't touch up my photos. I to show you what I'm doing in the gym. I show you my progress, because that's how I'm sort of trying to relate to a real person, to show you that this can be done in the real world. You don't have to be crazy like me and do as much as me, but it is possible to start small and do things step by step. So that's sort of the positive and the negatives of that social media. But also another positive is because you can see people achieve, and real people achieve, and get online and do Zoom sessions and things like that. So, I guess you've got to take things with a grain of salt. Yep. Don't believe absolutely everything on social media, and take from it what you will. Take from it what you need. But again, if it's overwhelming you as well, don't look at those profiles, or those. Don't scroll aimlessly through news feeds and stuff. Specifically look at something or a person that is real and you can relate to. That's kind of my advice, I guess, because social media can be quite overwhelming.
I'm sometimes on that pathway, but thanks for your advice. I think we're going to end the first part and then just move to the second part. I'm just going